Hi everyone, welcome to the Community Classroom. This is Dr. Tracy McCarthy, psychologist, attorney, and educator. We are starting a series, a bibliography series, and this is for Science on Trial. And what we will be doing is putting up information with scientific studies and scientific research information for you to consider. And so it will be primarily reading material, and so you can see a little summary or a highlight of the research article or research articles that will be in the screen, and then you can go and look at the actual research articles yourself. So the entire article is not going to be presented, but just a couple of key points to consider as you are pursuing the research. And so this is going to be rather extensive. Many times there won't be talking on the video. There will just be the information, so the bibliography information for you to then go and pursue a little bit more. And so we're starting off with the first article for you to consider. And this is an outgrowth of a number of things here. One dynamic is that in going back and reviewing the video discussions, a couple of video discussions had some science propaganda advertisement right before you get to the information about the video itself. And it's definitely propaganda, even though it's presented in an authoritative way from an authoritative source. It is still propaganda, and that particular source, in fact, has been working diligently to make sure that other research is silenced and that you do not get a full understanding of what's going on with science research and science theories today. And so you're getting sort of a one-sided, very unidimensional, myopic view of scientific reality. And also what's being pushed is this idea that people with PhDs, and that stands for Doctor of Philosophy, if you didn't know that. And so what is being pushed is that individuals with doctorates in philosophy specifically, and sometimes to another extent those with doctorates in medicine, what's being pushed is that those entities should be revered, sort of like a godlike status, and should be unquestioned. The problem also here is that not only are these entities, this degree it's being elevated to a godlike status. There's also a demand to sort of worship what is being presented, but people are not getting a complete view of the research. And so they are only getting the theories and the analyses of certain select groups of what are being presented as scholars. And the other thing is that often the scholars that are being presented are not actually presenting research. And so a lot of what is being presented is a feeling, opinion, things like that. And so it would be helpful if there was more research data presented for people to digest for themselves. So at the end of this, there are some suggestions about how you might pursue consuming research data, whether you're talking about data that's coming from an article or whether you're talking about data that's coming from a research panel, an expert panel. That's another thing. People are being presented as experts, but you don't necessarily know what they are experts in. And sometimes there's conflation going on in order to confuse people, to make people believe that people are experts in a certain thing. And if they are experts in a certain thing, that they should be believed, even above plain common sense. And so there is a significant duping going on, and dumbing down of people going on. And so again, you are encouraged to research for yourself. And remember, knowledge is power. And this is the first article for you to consider. Here's a little small synopsis of what the researcher author is going to be discussing in the article. And the researcher addresses the issue of research bias, whether you're talking about in the research process or the researcher having some sort of bias. And here's the little synopsis that I want you to consider for all research analyses. So what you're going to be doing when you are reading research articles is you're going to review the research data, you're going to question the research question, you're going to question the actual methodology of the research, you're going to question the validity and reliability of the research. Is this research actually measuring what it purports to measure? And how generalizable is this actual research? You're going to question the research conclusions. You're going to question researcher bias and conflicts of interest, and there should be a notation about conflicts of interest at the end of research articles. You're going to examine research funding streams so that you get a better sense of potential bias, and then you're going to examine additional research that actually refutes the research evidence that is presented in that research. Remember, knowledge is power. Take care. See you soon.